Jezebel. A woman seen as attractive and behaving in a way some think is wrong, often connected with cheating. Example: they called her a Jezebel for leading men astray, even when she was committed. Playboy. A rich man who enjoys partying, dating many women, and living a fun, carefree life. Example: Tom is known as a playboy, always going to fancy parties and dating different women. Lech. A person who behaves in a sexually inappropriate or creepy way. Example: he's always staring at women in a gross way. What a lech. Femme fatale. A seductive woman who often brings trouble or misfortune to men. Example: she's a classic femme fatale, leading men into risky situations. Runaround Sue. A woman who dates many men, often cheating or being unfaithful. Example: they call her Runaround Sue because she's always playing the field. Sneaky link. A woman who secretly meets with someone for casual encounters, often outside of a committed relationship. Example: she's his sneaky link, meeting up with him when his girlfriend isn't around. Side chick. A woman who is involved with someone who is already in a relationship, often secretly. Example: she's his side chick, always sneaking around because he's already taken. Leech. Someone who takes advantage of others, often financially. Example: he's just a leech, always borrowing money but never paying it back. Bigot. A person who is intolerant of others' beliefs, opinions, or lifestyles. He's a bigot, always making hateful comments about others. Brat. A spoiled, badly behaved child or young person. That kid is such a brat, throwing tantrums all the time. Brute. A very rough or violent person. He's a brute, always getting into fights. Chauvinist. A person with a biased belief in the superiority of their own gender or group. He's a chauvinist, always putting down women. Chump. A gullible person who is easily fooled or cheated. Don't be a chump. Don't let them take advantage of you. Nuisance. Someone who is annoying or causes problems for others. You're a nuisance, always getting in the way. Tool. A person who is used by others or lacks original thought. He's just a tool, always doing what others tell him to do. Dweeb. A person who is socially awkward or unpopular. Don't be such a dweeb. Try to fit in a little more. Shallow. Someone who lacks depth in thinking or emotions, often focused on superficial things. She's so shallow, only cares about looks and money. Martyr. Someone who always acts like they are suffering more than others for sympathy. She's always playing the martyr, making a big deal out of every little thing. Copycat. A person who imitates someone else, often in an annoying way. Stop being a copycat and come up with your own ideas. Cretin. A very stupid or mentally disabled person, used as an insult. You're such a cretin for believing that nonsense. Crook. A dishonest person, especially someone who steals or cheats. That guy's a crook. You can't trust him with anything valuable. Cynic. Someone who believes that people are motivated purely by self-interest. He's a cynic, always thinking the worst of everyone. Delinquent. A young person who regularly engages in criminal behavior. He's a delinquent, always in trouble with the law. Dog. A derogatory term for a man, often used to describe someone unfaithful or unattractive. He's a dog, always cheating on his girlfriend. Douchebag. A contemptible or detestable person, often used to describe someone arrogant or rude. That guy's a douchebag, always treating others with disrespect. Drunk. A person who is frequently intoxicated. He's a drunk, always passing out after drinking too much. Vandal. Someone who destroys or damages property on purpose. The vandals spray painted the walls last night. Vulture. A person who preys on the misfortunes of others for personal gain. He's like a vulture, waiting for others to fail so he can take advantage. Yes man. Someone who always agrees with those in authority, often insincerely. He's just a yes man, never stands up for his own opinions. Dingbat. A silly or eccentric person who often does foolish things. You're such a dingbat for not checking the weather before leaving. Ballbuster. Someone who is excessively demanding or harsh. He's a real ballbuster, never letting us catch a break. Spoilsport. Someone who ruins others' fun by being negative or strict. Don't be a spoilsport, let us have some fun. Pervert. Someone who has inappropriate sexual behavior or thoughts. He's a pervert, always making creepy comments. Suck up. A person who flatters others to gain favor. He's such a suck up, always trying to impress the boss. Psycho. A person who is mentally unstable and behaves erratically. He's a psycho, you never know what he'll do next. Phony. A fake person who pretends to be something they're not. He's a phony, always pretending to be someone he's not. Slacker. Someone who avoids work and responsibilities. He's a slacker, never putting in any effort. Moron. A very stupid person who makes foolish decisions. You're a moron for not thinking this through. Punk. A young troublemaker who is often disrespectful. He's just a punk, always causing trouble. Scoundrel. A dishonest person who behaves dishonorably. He's a scoundrel, always lying and cheating. Snowflake. Someone who is overly sensitive and easily offended. He's such a snowflake, can't take any criticism. Rascal. A mischievous person who causes trouble in a playful way. He's a rascal, always playing pranks. Recluse. Someone who avoids social interaction and prefers to be alone. He's a recluse, never comes out of his house. Nag. Someone who constantly criticizes or complains, often about small things. Stop being a nag, it's really annoying. Narcissist. A person who is excessively interested in themselves and their own appearance or importance. He's a narcissist, always talking about himself. Neurotic. Someone who is overly anxious and worried about everything. She's neurotic about every little detail. Nitpicker. A person who finds small faults in everything and is overly critical. Don't be a nitpicker, focus on the bigger picture. Nutcase. A crazy or very eccentric person. He's acting like a nutcase, completely irrational. Overbearing. Someone who is too controlling and domineering. She's overbearing, always telling everyone what to do. Paranoid. A person who is overly suspicious and believes others are out to get them. Stop being paranoid, not everyone is against you. Peasant. A derogatory term for someone who is seen as low class or unrefined. He's a peasant with no manners. Prick. A very unpleasant and rude person. He's a prick, always being mean to everyone. Retard. An offensive term for someone with a mental disability, used to insult someone's intelligence. Don't use that word, it's very offensive and hurtful. Scumbag. A very unpleasant and morally low person. He's a scumbag, always taking advantage of others. Selfish. Someone who only thinks of themselves and doesn't consider others. You're selfish, never thinking about anyone else. Show off. Someone who likes to brag and draw attention to themselves. He's a show-off, always trying to impress people. Simpleton. A foolish person who lacks intelligence. He's a simpleton, never understands anything. Skeptic. Someone who doubts and questions everything. He's a skeptic, never believes anything without proof. Slowpoke. A very slow person who takes a long time to do anything. You're such a slowpoke, hurry up. Sociopath. A person who has no regard for others' feelings and is manipulative. He's a sociopath, always using people for his own gain. Thanks for watching and subscribe us for more.